So I was addressing ISIS and racism, and this is the second part of that. So I'm gonna continue this by saying, first and foremost, if I have offended anybody of any ethnic background, let me apologize first. All right, because it needs to be said, and people don't know how to say I'm sorry and move on, and that directed directly at Donald Trump because I don't recall him having a real apology to Muslim people. And so I'm not gonna insult Muslims or any religious group or any of that. I have a hard enough time trying not to be a racist to other people. And the advantage I have of being multi-ethnic is when I cut on the news and someone of my black heritage does something stupid, I don't have enough black features, so I don't have to worry about it. But the first thing I say is, God, don't let them be black. Now, while we're on that, there have been a lot of black killings by cops of all colors, and it has been exploited up until the new terrorist thing back in California. All right, one, I know this is going to be really fucked up because I used to be in the army, so I'm going to say this. First off and foremost, if an officer of the law, who nowadays seem to be more trigger happy than anything else, confronts you, first and foremost, and I mean this all heartedly, first and foremost, excuse me, first and foremost, don't resist, comply. Because if you don't comply, it causes problems. No. And the thing with things,
experience the journey of being a
damn it,
football manager.
I have no
Build your
idea how to
club
cut
from the
that off.
ground up.
Okay. Somehow or another, with this word with friends thing has kind of interfered. No, I don't want to play any damn soccer. Sorry. Anyhow, back to reality here. A lot of people who wear badges and guns haven't had the proper training for one for a situation gone left. The first thing that they have been taught is that, you know, if you shoot first and ask questions later, you can probably mop everything up or sweep it under the rug, which is generally a really bad idea. First off, if the guy is outnumbered, you know, 4-1, unless he's a steroid freak, I don't think it'll be a problem to try and talk him down. Try to calm him down. Try to assess the situation before the situation becomes critical. And the thing in the army, you know, all right, when you're in country, you have a set of rules that you have to live by. That is like the highest standard, like no swearing in your uniform and no swearing in the general public, and you know, walking with a certain amount of grace and dignity, and setting an example that all soldiers need to set. When you're out of country, the rules change a little bit because when you're going after terrorist organizations or terrorist cells, things get a little bit hairy, and when things get hairy, you kind of have to deal with it, and sometimes the way we have to deal with it doesn't make us seem like very good people. All right, as an infantry soldier, and before my career ended, before it got started, as an infantry soldier in the training I took, the training was simple. You have the Geneva Convention, which basically states that you got to make sure this guy is dead before you walk past him, because if he gets up and shoots you, you can't shoot back. I don't understand how that works. It was just something I was taught, and I don't like it. But as a soldier, you have to follow the rules. I think NATO probably enforces the Geneva Convention more than anything else. And American soldiers, we get a whole bunch of flack about some shit that goes on. But see, if you're not out there and you haven't had the training, then you don't really know what the hell they're talking about. But while I was being trained, with Drill Sergeant White, Drill Sergeant Stoner, and all the other drill sergeants that were like driving us into us, you know, it's not pretty on the other side. It's not a billionaires boys club. You signed up, and unfortunately, you got infantry, and that means just like the Marines and anybody else that's in the infantry, your ass is going in the front line, and you're going in there to kill the enemy or be killed by the enemy if you're not careful. But the Geneva Convention gives you a set of rules that you kind of have to engage by. So, like, I guess, like, after a certain amount of fire time or whatever, when there's a ceasefire, I think they allow you to collect your dead. I'm not going to swear to that because I haven't been in the military in a long time. But I do remember the 12-hour classes that I took. I remember watching how IEDs work. I remember they taught me how to disarm a claymore. I remember how they taught us how to look for tripwires and all this other stuff. And at first, I like to thank Drill Sergeant White and Drill Sergeant Stoltz, even though Drill Sergeant Stoltz hates my guts, and Drill Sergeant Robbins. Because in Bravo, they taught me a whole lot of good stuff. I will never ever forget my training. And in Delta, man, my heart goes out to my three drill sergeants in Delta. Yeah, I'm the old guy. I was old Dick, and I want to thank those guys right now because they're out there doing what I should be doing, and they're dying and saving our asses every day. They're in danger. So every time you see a soldier, or if you see something to donate to a soldier, you should do that, even if it's 50 cents. I don't have any money, but if I find anything that donates to like children's or soldiers, whatever I have in my pocket, even if I needed it, it's going in there. Or I'll divide it so that I can use the bulk of it for the emergency, and whatever I can spare will go into there. Because if a soldier doesn't donate to a soldier fund, as I was told when we were in training, they were like, you have to give some to the USO because your fellow soldiers give to the USO, and all soldiers should probably give, even ex-soldiers give, because you know what? They've been there and they know that things happen. And a lot of people back home don't understand what's happening when we're over there dying so you guys can sleep at night. It's a whole different ball game. So, to all those soldiers that was with me in Bravo and Delta, even the guys that hated my motherfucking guts, I'm with you. If not in physical, I'm damn sure they're in spirit, and I pray for you guys every night. Even if we didn't get along, y'all know who the hell you are. I still love y'all, even if y'all treated me like the biggest bitch that ever was. Okay, I didn't ask to get hurt, so in my defense, that kind of ruined everything for me. But okay, we're good. We're good. But I will tell you this: I met a lot of good friends there. Some of them, like me, had to go home. No, I'm gonna tell you though, getting back on track, there are a lot of things out here in this world that the civilians really just aren't really, guys really aren't ready for. And when these little terrorist incidents happen, it's why you need us. Okay? So hopefully we get the job done so that these little incidents with innocent people in America aren't gunned the fuck down because some jackass got on the computer and listened to and I don't speak that language, but whatever the hell it is, apparently it has subliminals and it fries young people's brains and they volunteer to go become somebody's whore or somebody's cannon fodder so that they can go to countries and cities and blow things up, kind of like in Paris, California, New York. You guys suck. I mean, if you're sitting here and you can't like attack military installations, but you can attack people who can't fight back. And I'm not trying to aim anybody at my fellow brothers and sisters in the military. But I'm making a statement, it's a true statement, that these terrorists, they don't attack places that have armed soldiers. They don't come after us at Quantico. They don't come after us at Fort Benning. They don't come after us at Fort Jackson. They don't come after any military installation. So when they cowardly choose to make a statement, they shoot up people who can't defend themselves. They shoot up places like IRCs in California. They sucker kids into shooting up other kids in school. They do things to get our kids scared. And they do this propaganda crap so that they can trick people who were born in America but of their background into joining them, and they somehow, I guess, blindside you guys to the fact that your family has to kind of answer for kind of the stuff that y'all do. And even though your family's innocent, the rest of the world doesn't see that. The rest of the world sees them as the bastards that raised these fucking terrorists. And I think to myself every day, especially after the California thing, I think to myself, first I feel for that little baby girl that they left behind. But on the flip side, I'm kind of glad that they're dead so they can't do that to anybody else. But the thing with me is that, you know, if I had a child, unless that child was being held hostage by these guys, there's no fucking way in hell that I would sacrifice someone else's life to make a fucking statement, unless it was to save my child. But their child was safe here in America with her parents. So there's no fucking excuse for her and her husband to have done that shit. No excuse at all. And now that poor baby doesn't have her parents to guide them. And if anybody ever finds out what the child's name is, or found out that she's the kid of these assholes that shot up these innocent people, these 14 people that died, she's gonna catch all kinds of hell because her parents, oh, they're dead and gone. They don't have to suffer for this shit. But she may have to suffer. And that's fucking wrong. So, as I make this video, I want everybody to understand this. You know, the baby's innocent. Let her grow up in peace. Don't show these assholes that we're worse than they are by making her pay for the sins of her parents. Because that shit's not cool. No. You can't help how you come into this world, but you can help how you become a productive member of this world. Now, you know, that probably sounds like a cliche. And it probably is somewhere on some level or another. And that's cool today because sometimes cliches can actually make a very good statement. And they also can fill in gaps that you can't think of your own. Like, you know, if you don't have an original comeback, or you got to get your comebacks from a cereal box or the Sunday Funnies, you know, cliches generally cover damn near everything. But, you know, the thing about evil, when you think about the evil, when people always say that the devil made him do it, not the guy with the horns, because mythologically that deity can look like anybody, you know. And let's not forget that the devil wasn't just an angel; he was God's first angel. So I'm gonna drop that religious stuff right now, and I'm gonna get back on my point. As Americans, y'all can take this serious, or y'all can give me the finger. And if you do, hey, it's your opinion. You have that right. I signed up to die so that you can give me the finger. Okay, as Americans, we have a tendency to return favors in not such a bright light. So, you know, consequences only breed more consequences, and every action has a consequence, as I said in the video before this one. You have to think before you do things. You have to. And for all you young people who are watching this, and I'm hoping I'm keeping you straight and that you'll be willing to serve your country. I'm not saying, you know, hey, let's go jump in and join the army. No, I'm not saying that. No, and if that's what you want to do, I salute you. Just don't get infantry. So you don't have to get a new hip like me. I want you young people, and especially people of a particular ethnic background, which basically, if you're like me, if you're of black descent, I want you to stop having nigger moments. If you're white descent, I want you to try to influence your people to be a little more open-minded. And if you're Asian descent, I already know you guys have the most open-minded people that ever were. But every now and again, even you guys are entitled to have a little slip. And if you're Arabian or Iranian, if you are from the foreign countries that these guys like Donald Trump and everybody else keeps targeting because of your Muslim religious views or whatever the fuck, you know, first, fuck them. Second, if you're in America and you're a legal citizen or an illegal citizen and you have friends here, before you do something stupid, because I'm sure you're considering everything that I'm saying pretty stupid, before you do something stupid, think about your families, think about your friends, and think about the one word that matters to everybody: aftermath. The aftermath of your actions can cause problems for everyone else. You go out and you grow up, and granted, not everybody has a rich life, but you have a life. You have the right to steer the course. You can steer left, you can steer right, you can steer straight, and make your life worth something. You go too far left, things go wrong. You go too far right, things go wrong. You try to stay straight, you still hit bumps in the road. But the thing is, you have to think about that aftermath. Because in the aftermath, you know, let's say you don't die like one of the Boston bombers. Let's say you're that jackass. You know, he killed kids, man. He blew off legs of people. He killed college kids who had bright futures and could have been that one person who could have cured AIDS or cured cancer or cured herpes or cured something. And he took all that away. The aftermath of everything we do affects everyone, not just you. You want to make a statement? That's cool. Don't do it at the expense of innocent lives. And if y'all are so badass, you go after a target that can actually defend itself and not innocent people. But of course, terrorists, they're called terrorists for a reason. Terrorists are basically cowards. They really are. They're basically cowards. And instead of being brave enough to make a statement and come after us at our bases where we have control, where we have the armaments to defy these bastards and to bring them down, they want to come after innocents. They want to attack children's hospitals. They want to attack restaurants. They want to attack monuments that have been standing on earth before these bastards even got out of diapers. And it disturbs me that, you know, they think that they're badasses. Oh yeah, I'm a badass. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna attack the Eiffel Tower. There's no weapons there. No one in Paris can defend themselves on the Eiffel Tower. So you're not a badass, you're a jackass because you're out here attacking places that can't defend themselves. These young, misguided people who left their baby behind and shot up the IRC in California. The aftermath of that is they left a baby behind. Now, granted, the baby will hopefully have a good life and no one will fuck with her. But it's just that they didn't even think about her. They didn't even consider it. And I'm thinking to myself, why would you do that? The baby's like maybe 4 months old, maybe younger, maybe older, I don't know. But where was your line of thought in that whole situation? Did you even give a damn? Probably not. But I'm gonna close this out because I do want to make another racist video, like completely off track of this, and I want to make a statement about it. So I'm gonna close this out. But before I do, I want everyone. I don't give a damn if you're religious or if you're not. I don't. In other words, I don't care if you're a person that's spiritual. I want everyone to try and say a prayer for everyone. Because we need prayer in this world. We really do. And the thing that sets us apart from everyone else is that we can do that here freely, and we don't have to worry about somebody executing us because I want to get on my knees at sunrise, noon, 4, and 7 for Mass or whatever they call it. Or I don't want to have to not be able to go to church on Wednesdays and things. So everybody just take a moment, learn someone else's religion, try to understand them, and if you can, try to convince all you young people to not believe the propaganda that this radical jackass is trying to get you young people to join the bad guys. You know, every country, everyone who lives in their countries, want to keep their world safe. But for some reason, no one wants to see eye to eye. No one wants to let's try to find ways of making peace. Let's try to get everyone to Mars. Let's try to go beyond the stars. Oh no, some jackass got a raw hair up his ass and now he's trying to kill everybody. Okay, you're wasting energy and resources that we could all just come together, build a big ass rocket ship, and go off into outer space. And then we can start colonizing Mars. Because in the end, it's going to be more important to expand us as a growth in humans than to kill us all. Why kill when we can create? So in closing, keep that in mind. Why kill when we can create? So you young people who are studying engineers, we're going to need you. So don't get stupid and go join off to ISIS because this jackass is promoting all this bullshit. We're going to need engineers. We're gonna need scientists. We're gonna need botanists, chemists. We're gonna need all you smart people to colonize Mars. I'll be dead by the time you get there, but it's just the principle of why kill when you create. Now I know that sounds fucked up because everybody who knows me knows that if I get to fighting with someone, it's much easier to kill than to have a victory. But that's generally because that's what I was trained to do in martial arts. But here's the reality of that. I'm 5'3", okay? I don't want to kill anybody. But I'm not going to sit there and just take an ass whooping. No. But I'm hoping that my words, don't kill, create, will get you guys to understand it. Okay, you're young. You're in your 20s. You're our future. Don't fuck up and join this jackass who targets people who can't defend themselves in wheelchairs and targets tourists and sports arenas and shit like that. Because those guys aren't shit. Those guys are cowards. Don't join the coward club. Do something to make the world better. Thank you.